when it still burns.
Welcome back, everybody. We just had the most incrediblest series, KeeN versus Scarlet. It was really good. That second game, amazing, amazing, amazing. Remember when everyone is looking at that nuke GIF, or clip, or whatever we call these things now? I don't know. The moving pictures. Scarlet played without sound today. And just to once again really briefly outline this, so someone can type this in, people can really understand. Last time she played in GSL, she felt like she couldn't really hear the sounds, so she practiced without sounds for this time so that she would not be reliant upon them. And she even mentioned in the dressing room beforehand that she had lost to a nuke recently because it is very difficult without sounds to identify them.
Remarkably vigilant all game long, but it did in fact finally fall apart. And that will allow KeeN, our Terran kind of underdog into this group, to advance to our final game of the night to play against another player I didn't expect to see. Here's Stats.
Yeah, you would expect the defending champion to get right out, but Classic was definitely too strong. He played better PvP for sure. There was no point at which I thought that Stats would win either of those games, so well done on Classic. But now KeeN is going to have a very hard time. Stats is quite solid indeed at this matchup.
Yeah, kind of hoping we get all the way to Deadwing, a cool map that we don't get to see a whole lot. First map is Proxima Station, so get your last second votes in there. Let your friends know this is the last match of the night. KeeN taking on Stats. 3445 is the number of tonight's match. Our blue Terran player, he is
KeeN
to win this series.
Oh yeah? Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
I perhaps could be correct. Sometimes.
But no matter how you dice it, the
Splice Stats
are on this Protoss's side.
Too bad Splice is sponsoring him, because then we could just have
Well,
the
that's
word,
why I said dice it.
Right?
You cut it up and then splice
you
it back
have
together.
thought one step ahead, as it were. Perhaps you could also be good at things like chess.
Probably not.
I don't know. All I do is watch Tasteless smashing control at chess all the time. That's my only interaction with it.
I hope Control's watching so he can let you know that he probably beats Nick a little bit at least.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a motivation. Maybe we just need to cheer for him so he can show good games.
Yes. We'd love to see those good games.
Okay.
Just like the good games that we've had all night long.
Indeed, it has been a good game. Very lots of games, not quite going to our full 15, but very close.
Yeah, and a lot of long, crazy games.
Yeah.
Well, we had one long game where Stats just didn't leave, but other than that, like, for instance, that KeeN Scarlet game, really nice one.
Yeah, I often think about this. We have a lot of great players who oftentimes lose, and think about the great players who have to die so that we can have good games.
I know.
Lots of, most recently, ASL, we've seen a lot of that with great players like Jadong losing, but in spectacular style. And I mean, there's something to be said for, what was that, the supernova of the dying star. You know, it looks beautiful to watch, and so all that has led us up until now, and could definitely see another long game coming up, but Stargate on the way, and I mean, KeeN just sticking to his guns with the very same solid build.
Yeah, and looks all like the most solid normal openers, but what you say is quite true. Like a lot of people, I was talking about this with Tassels the other day, and you know, a lot of people act like if the player lost they're bad or something, but like a lot of people's best games are games that they lost as well, where your opponent just was better than you, but you played well, and that's what gave a good game.
Yeah.
That's, you know, and that's, there's no shame in that. I mean, what's more beautiful than, you know, a salmon floating on his side dead? You know,
after trying to swim upstream.
Yeah, and you know, They
was going to say, I
made the eggs and they're on their side or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there is something truly beautiful about watching somebody who is the best or the greatest fall. Because not only do you have, what it means to overcome that player, but you also get to see somebody try their hardest, their heart out, with no doubt in your mind that you are watching the pinnacle of performance right there.
Yeah.
And that's just beautiful to watch, no matter if it's an underdog or some of the best players in the game. So I definitely think that we've witnessed that tonight. So, yeah, everybody else watching has also witnessed that. I know there are certainly a lot of people tuning in to watch Scarlet play, but also for this last game, I mean, it would actually be a big upset if Stats doesn't even make it out of this group.
It would be indeed. If KeeN can somehow take him down, that's pretty fantastic. Now look at this. This is actually a fake. I don't believe there's actually a mine in there.
Yeah, no, there's no mine there. All these SCVs could die.
Yeah, so that was a really good fake by KeeN because he's actually flying across the map with his mine right now. So this Oracle ended up getting 0 kills, and realistically, if he had just been like, I don't think there's a mine, then he could have gotten like 8, 9 kills.
Yeah, there's situations where worse players get more damage done because they just fly on in there.
Yeah.
You
beat because you're bad is a real thing sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we call Hydra logic.
Yeah.
All right, well, lots of damage being done by this drop. Finally, the medevac will get cleaned up, but so many probes going down.
Yeah, this is very, very brutal. Like, KeeN is at such an advantage because he faked having a Widow Mine and then dropped and did ridiculous
Kind of
damage.
incredible to see, like, little things and how they make, this is the butterfly reaping the whirlwind here.
Imagine if that had gotten another shot off. Like, oh my god. But yeah, 13 kills. There are 37 SCVs against 34 probes. Like, Protoss should never be behind on workers, and if they are just behind.
Yeah, it turns out Chrono Boost works backwards and rewinds, makes your probe slower. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to recoup that many losses early on, especially since most of these units survived here for Stats can be able to come across with an unfettered Oracle and more Phoenix than Vikings.
Even a third command center is almost done here, so this is a very good position for KeeN. If he just turtles for a little bit, he's going to be in a great spot because this really looks like Stats is going to be forced into Adept Phoenix. He's already got the Phoenixes, so Adepts are going to be the only thing that pairs with that. And so, like, if you're sitting here on 3 bases having done that much damage to the Protoss and they're going for that unit comp, as long as you're turtled well, and they don't just get some ridiculous damage on your SCVs because you're sloppy, you should be able to just hit a big supply and go kill them.
Yep. Now, there is a world in which this next big spike for Stats could be a little bit overwhelming. He's about to have +1 glaives and a big gateway explosion all hitting around the same time. So, I mean, that could be definitely very scary. I mean, first game of the night, we saw Scarlet just fall over to a push very similar.
Absolutely.
Different racial matchup, but it's still possible.
And, he's trying to get himself an opening as well. We just saw him pick off 2 Widow Mines completely free. Just some mana used. So moves like that are going to be ones that make it more likely that he can get something done. But again, if KeeN just kind of turtles here, we see him floating out this command center already. Is he going to defend this area well enough? Like, are we going to see some bunkers, or is he just going to, like, sit here and, maybe get shaded upon, maybe win that, maybe not?
Those are the steps to, oh, wow, getting a couple more picked off. Nice. Yeah, really vigilant.
Losing 4 mines like that is pretty brutal. Like, it's almost like he's relying on luck in some ways in this game, right? Like, he faked having a mine in his mineral line, which that's a great move. But then twice he just burrowed double Widow Mines on the edge where he thought flying units would fly in, but Stats was too diligent and kills him instead of flying into him and losing a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, a different world that could have definitely gone the other way, and Stats loses all of his air, and KeeN moves out and kills him. So, I mean, for the time being, I think Stats has done a lot to get himself back into the game, and this very powerful timing that he's coming up on could be the straw that breaks the KeeN's back.
Ooh, it definitely could be that. Look at this, a ton of Adepts getting in that main base. No defense for KeeN in there right now. Oh god, he's going to start losing a lot of SCVs here.
Yeah, and even with the Shade going back there into the natural, look at the SCV casualties racking up.
Yeah, they really, really are. There's even something going on at the front natural, so I'm not even sure what that... Okay, even more Adepts, sick. That's a lot of SCVs going down right now.
25, and they're not going to stop yet. I mean, this is just sort of perfidious auto-attacking there. Now the real Shade in on to what could be the last remaining mineral line. Finally, good Widow Mine connects, but 33 SCVs going down.
Yeah, Stats just takes this game in which he was in a bad place, plays solidly, and now he is like vastly, I don't want to say vastly winning because he doesn't have a very big army right now, but like he did a lot of damage there. His economy is better.
The sneakiest attempt. Just chilling in there. Okay, maybe that'll come back to bite him eventually. I mean, at this point, KeeN needs to go out and deal some damage. So starting the push, but going to be marauded by this Protoss air army, marking it. Not a big surprise.
It's not often that you get marauded by Protoss, but you're right about that.
Indeed, most of the time it is, in fact, the shoe on the other foot, as they say, Artosis.
Shoe on the other foot. Okay, another Adept drop coming in right now. Going to pick up and get out of here with that Prism. So KeeN not able to move out right now. He is starting his 2-2, but this is where it gets really scary for KeeN. You were right. He needed to move out and get some damage there, probably, even though it's tough because you're playing against Adept and you're not super teched out, but a transition is occurring. This is something that KeeN, I don't think, is even aware of. I think he's used only one scan recently for scouting on the 4th. Which means he doesn't know. There could be a ton of Adepts or there could be Colossus tech on the way.
I mean, when you lose 30 SCVs, you kind of have to use that energy for mules. And so that means less scans. The one Liberator that he did send out was ineffective and got taken out immediately. And really just going to be completely unaware. Thermal Lance now on the way with double Colossus production. And now picking up the army. There's just nothing here to defend. Warping in your face, base. That's where he's at, man.
That was the most incredibliest warping in your face in your base. Picking up all of those Marines so they can't even target down the medevac, which is what he was going for. A Shade into the back natural here.
Well, your base is about to belong to Stats right here. Adepts just killing everything on the ground, in the air.
Wouldn't mind drop going towards a Nexus that isn't finished yet, but okay, here he goes. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. That's too bad because KeeN's initial drop did better than he thought it would, for sure. He didn't think he was going to do that much damage with that, and he took, like, no damage from the Oracle, 0 kills, and then still it just had a hard time getting into a good position after that. Wasn't defending super well. He lost 4 Widow Mines to basically nothing, and Stats, I mean, he will destroy you if you give him an opening.
Indeed he will, and that's going to do it for our first map of our last match of the night. KeeN, a very strong opening, nice fake there to start it, but didn't wind up working out. For Stats, just really showing that I think vigilance is the best word, keeping himself in this game and taking game number 1. So game number 2 on Abyssal Reef is coming up.
Okay, Abyssal Reef for KeeN. Is he able to take him down here? It definitely can be a good map, but we've got to see KeeN really, truly perform here. Will Stats go for an all-in? I wouldn't be too surprised.
Would not at all. Here we go, guys. Game number 2. It's coming up. KeeN versus Stats to make it out of the GSL Codes. Round of 16.
This guy.
KeeN.
That guy.
Splice. Stats.
Those units.
Dem probes. Dat gas.
The gas was fat, man.
Yeah.
It's right there. Although I guess in Brood War you can have like depleted gas.
That's true.
Not as fat.
Mine in two at a time there.
Yeah. Or sometimes just less gas overall. Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? I think it's Andromeda that has the depleted gas geyser at the third base. Neither here nor there. Just trying to say. I'm just saying Artosis.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that's my pet peeve saying. Somebody says they're just saying, like, just is a word invented to try to unsay what you are saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say, it's like, no, you're actually saying that. Like, you're not just trying to do anything, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess that's not really a great usage of just.
There's no great usage
It's a pretty
of just.
unjust usage of just.
Okay, that is truly the only good usage of that word. All right. It's been a long day,
No,
Tosis.
you can use just as a time thing, too. I just took out the trash, Mom. Stop yelling at me.
That is true. Perhaps the temporal usage of the word the most appropriate.
Yeah.
However, like many words in the English language, used completely incorrectly.
Or someone named Justin, that could be their nickname, Just.
That's a terrible nickname, Artosis. Sorry to all the Justs out there.
Poor Just. Oh.
Yeah, man. Not a big fan. That guy can make a Twitter account to tweet mean things at me. I don't even care about that one. But
well, you could just block him if he does. Ah!
oh my god.
So, here we are.
It's been too long a day, Artosis.
It's been a pretty long one, yeah. It's,
Indeed it has.
Some long games tonight. Some tough ones, no doubt.
Yeah, but really good games. Very happy about this. I just hope the games keep getting better and better so I can bring Tasteless his chicken noodle soup, tell him about how good the games were today.
Well, we'll try hard to have good games for the rest of the time.
But only if you guys out there cheer for us. It's the only way we can have good games.
Yeah, based on that last game, the amount of damage KeeN did and his inability to block harassment afterwards, I'm a little bit nervous about him here. It seems like stats might just be a class too high.
Yeah, okay. Well, one kill early on, already the most valuable Reaper in there. Running away from Shades. That reminds me, if you guys ever watched the movie Final Fantasy Spirits Within,
yeah,
it looked like a scene from that movie where the Marine is running away from the ethereal projection of something that somehow, when they touch it, will kill it for some reason. I never understood that. But
except the one person that doesn't die from it because they have it in them or something, right?
That's right. Dr. Aki Ross, man.
When did you watch this movie last?
Over 4,000 individually animated hairs on her head, man. I counted. Ugh. It's my favorite movie. That's one of my trifecta of 3 best movies.
Yeah?
It's that movie. Ugh. Changed my life.
Okay,
all right.
Rain Man.
Here we go. Oracle already getting a little bit of value.
2 SCVs I counted individually there, and the Oracle killed 2 different SCVs. My favorite type of flying harassment unit.
That's why you're not people's favorite player. Yeah. Like, I just love it when Oracles kill worker units. Instantly, 90% of the people on the planet hate you.
Pretty exciting. Glaives on the way. Proxy pylon already in place, but the Viking has scouted that.
Indeed it has. It's not only scouted, it's pushed back this Oracle. It's just multi-purpose. Love to see the bunker at the front. Sometimes if you lose just like the tiniest little bit of your army and you're facing this aggressive warp in timing, you're going to need that defense, and KeeN's right on top.
In fact, a Siege Shank's going to be popping out pretty quickly here, so that's going to be really nice as well for helping to defend. 3rd Nexus on the way while he continues to pressure. Oracle keeping tabs. Here we go. He's got to close that wall in for sure.
Will he? Yep, right on time. KeeN really good at raising those depots. I mean, that sounds like a small thing to congratulate a player for being. I just see so many Terran players leave their depots down, the Zerglings run through, and I'm like, oh, well, it's not like you're a bad player. That was just pretty bad. But
imagine, because we always think of the different Terrans as having different like superpowers, right? Like TY strategy, beyond micro, etc., innovation macro. What if KeeN's was supply depots? Like, we're running out because he's the 10th best Terran, and that's like, he's like the Planeteer that has heart, you know?
Oh, wow. Shade completing right on top of that tank. Will get gunned down. Bunker being mass repaired there. Decent defense. No SCVs being taken out just yet. Finally, some starting to fall. Mine connecting, Liberator sieging, SCVs running. Lots of infinitives and adjectives and everything being done. But nice hold there by KeeN.
Yeah, he holds overall pretty well. The Siege Shank gets taken out and 5 SCVs, though, and, a few bio units in there as well. So, still stats getting enough value that I think he's not, like, regretting the move. Still shading forward a little bit. Nice tag to let him know where everything's at.
That's a pretty entrenched position, but I like what Stats is doing behind that. He's not using this as an all-in pressure. This is, in fact, dedicated harassment.
Yeah.
Artosis.
Well, he definitely is continuing that as well. Void Ray popping out there. I think that's just an anti-harassment Void Ray. Very good for this map.
The shades don't kill the Marines when they travel through them. I've been lied to my entire life, Artosis. That's why that movie was a terrible movie. Oh, all right, superpowers engaged.
Oh my God, yeah, he's the depot lifter once again. Imagine that, like in a game to show off, he has like a line of depots that are like piano keys, and he plays like for release on them. Dude,
look at the depots, man. That's like when you walk up to your girlfriend. She's just got a new haircut. She's like, "What's different about me?" And you look, and you're like, "You have really pretty eyes," and then she breaks up with you. It's terrible. It's like, well, if all you can compliment about the guy is his depots, impressive though it may be, I mean, they're depots. So he did have good defense. He makes his base, and
depots are great defensively, and to lift those up each and every time, it's impressive.
It truly is. Here we go. Burrowing the mines, not moving the probes.
Oh.
12 kills, Artosis.
Those probes go up. And little triangle probes.
Go to little probe heaven, man.
I love it.
They're going to be like, I think it's Stats in SSL. His icon is a probe with a halo on it because he loses so many probes.
Well, he certainly did right there. We've seen him do that quite often in the past as well. Another drop going in there by Stats, kind of pushing forward here against KeeN.
Blinking to the side there, but into this Bioforce, Stats is going to lose this fight.
Yeah, he really is. He has his own adept harassment going on right now, but he walks into these.
Ooh.
Does not want to be going under those Liberators.
Harassment won't be effective either. Void Ray is out, but even that's only going to be able to take out that medevac. No, it escapes.
Yeah,
Stats kind of fall
back
apart.
as well. He's having a little bit of a hard time here. He's going to lose a lot of these Stalkers. The Void Ray going to be picked off as well.
Ooh, Stats might have lost too much, Artosis.
Yeah, this is looking better for KeeN than it was before, for sure. He's doing a really good job. He's got a much bigger army. Stats doesn't have a whole lot to speak about right now. Really, that Prism is like threatening, but there's enough Marines left behind that it's totally fine.
KeeN great on the defense, and now you're starting to see this little parade push start to funnel out here. Stats knows that he has a decent advantage, or KeeN knows that he has a decent advantage. Still has to hammer it home through a narrow choke point.
Yeah, this is a great place to siege up Liberators here as well. Good force fields go down, though, and he's using these Stalkers to blow up the Liberators right away.
That's really good control. Limiting that number of Liberators, still harassing there. Now in a different location. There's a Widow Mine there. Be careful. No, it's already gone off. All right.
Okay, still getting a few SCVs, keeping KeeN a little bit busy at home. Stats holding on to his 3 bases.
That is something we should talk about. Stats is up a base, so he will be mining more, even though he did lose a decent amount of his army out there and is behind in supply.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually didn't know how much behind he was in the army count. He's down 40 to 86.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. He's trying to buy time with all these adept warpins, but that is it's a tall task. Like, even if he keeps sacrificing these to kill SCVs, the actual army of KeeN may end up just winning the game for him anyways.
Wow, I didn't realize how much up he was in workers. So if he just holds on here, he will be able to macro back into the lead. But that is going to be very difficult against somebody who was at one point almost doubling his army supply.
Yeah, definitely the case. And look at this, he uses 3 overcharges immediately.
He just has to hang on.
Exactly. He is buying time right now while his adepts are trying to get some work done.
Fingers clenched on the cliff. One finger goes off.
Did that Prism seriously live with 4 health?
It did.
I don't believe
Buff
it.
Marines, man, not good enough.
You need +3 on those Marines.
What if we just gave him Queen range, man?
Yeah, let's give Marines Queen range. That sounds like a good idea.
Sometimes Fear Dragon will have these tweets where he's like, what if you could burrow pylons? I'm like, okay, well, that's also a terrible idea. It's like, yeah, but what if you could also, like, burrow movement pylons and then overcharge them? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm like, no, that's also a terrible idea.
Great. Oh, my God. I'm actually totally for that.
Sartosis is 6 strat, the burrowed pylon.
Until I have to play a PvP, and then I'm like, okay, I quit this game.
You both pop up pylons at the same place. Like, oh, you're map hacking.
Well, then you just burrow them again. It's no problem. Jeez, you don't even understand the burrowed movement.
Clearly, meta. Man, this is not my meta. My meta. Hashtag it. All right, here we go. First big engagement. Nice blink micro, but even those Immortals actually getting a lot of damage done from behind. Big Shade right on top of KeeN's army. Widowmine's trying to burrow, but they get picked off.
Uh-oh, KeeN in a lot of trouble after that one. Now behind on economy, he's floated down to his 3rd base during all of this, but is he going to be able to even hold on against this massive army of stats?
The economy finally starting to kick in. GG, it's enough stats. We'll make it out.
All right, you know, kind of as a lot of people have predicted, stats will move on into the round of 16, but in 2nd place to Classic. Unfortunately, our foreign player Scarlet in her 2nd try at GSL Code S, unable once again to get to the round of 16.
Well, congratulations there to Stats. I did not expect him to drop those early games, but able to come back against KeeN, who, to his credit, looked way stronger than I was expecting.
Yeah, KeeN looked pretty good tonight, actually, overall. You know, the thing is, he's playing against really, really fantastic players. Protoss, as far as Protoss goes, right, these are 2 of the 4 Protoss that have made it to the next round so far. 2 champions of GSL. So these are guys that you really do expect to win. And KeeN still fought reasonably well against them. So, I mean, definitely a Terran worth respect and study.
Yep. That's going to take us into our MVP interview with our GSL's champion, Stats. So congratulations, Stats, you advanced on to the next round. So what do you have to say about this game? First of all, my group, personally, my groups have been actually really tough. So I felt like it was going to be really hard matches tonight. I really tried my best. So I wanted to win in the winners match to advance first, but Classic played outstandingly. Way more than I expected. So let's talk about your winners match, Stats. What was the most disappointing point in that winners match for you? So my composition was a little bit unclear. I didn't know if I should have changed my unit composition into Sky Protoss more quickly. And in the second match, when I killed a lot of his carriers, I should have pushed all the way across the map more aggressively, but I missed that opportunity. So you won the championship last season. He says, personally, you know, I don't feel like I'm doing that well when I have PvP especially. So when we look at your last season, you didn't actually have very many PvPs last season. So it was fun to watch your PvP matches. Gary's saying, so we have a champion's curse in GSL because former champions are always easily eliminated the next season, but you made it to the next round, the round of 16. So you said you want to avoid Protoss.
프로토스가 너프가 된 이후로부터 테란 유저든 저그 유저든
So honestly, after Protoss was nerfed recently,
이런 대처법들을 다 이렇게
I think Terran and Zerg really know how to destroy Protoss. So when I Protoss on the ladder, I actually lose a lot of games. So that makes me worried a lot when I come to play in GSL. But since I advanced to the round of 16, I feel a lot of relief. So you had your Zerg match versus Scarlet. What did you think about that game? So you went for an all-in in the second game, but Scarlet was able to defend. So we actually thought you were going to lose. This is the third game. How did you end up winning that game?
제가
He said,
분리했던
I
것만큼
think I
저거한테
managed my units
견제로
very well, and I
부족해를
separated
끼치고
my
그러고 난 다음에
army.
교전도
네.
생각보다 컨트롤이 또 잘
So that
돼가지고
gives a lot more
펼칠 수
damage
있었던
to my
것
units.
네, 그 프로토스 유저분들에게는
And my,
페이다 같은
control,
경험이 아니었을까 싶었어요. 자, 이제 이렇게
When I
해서
engaged those
16강
fights,
고지명식에 참가하게 됐고
was very good.
탑시드를 이제 행사하시게 됐습니다. 우승자시니까. 네, 지난
Might say he was
고지명식 때
in
전태양
control.
선수의 탑시드 행사.
So you are the champion of last season, so that means that you have a seed in the group nominations.
좀 물론 큰 그림을
So
그렸지만 왜 굳이 그렇게
something about using
시대 행사를 하지
TY's
생각을
trading card.
했었는데
너무 공격적이어서.
He gets the top. He gets a trade at the end, basically.
Yeah, so he does get a
하려고요.
trade. So are you going to use that aggressively or defensively?
아, 제가 탑시드이기 때문에
네.
후회하는 이런
He said, because I am top
결과는
seed,
나오지 않을 거라고 생각을 합니다.
네, 알겠습니다.
I don't
자, 오랜만에
think
GSL 팬분들도 또
I can,
김혁 선수
treat
보고
this
좋아하실
result
텐데요.
as if I
팬분들께
won it.
한마디 들어보겠습니다.
GSL 무대
Didn't understand that. But so before we close out, do you have any words for your fan stats?
기대에 못 미치는 결과를 이렇게 보이면서 떨어질까봐 걱정을 많이 하고 왔어요.
So honestly, I was really worried. What if I was going to get eliminated here in the round of 32? Am I going to disappoint all my fans? But since I made it into the round of 16,
네, 알겠습니다.
I'm very glad.
광고에서 보여준
And
연기력도
I'll try to
정말
continue to show good games.
여기 잘하시던데요?
He said,
또 보여주세요.
yeah, I really enjoy your acting in the Hot 6 commercial stats. I think that was pretty good.
열심히 할게요. 네.
Stats saying, well, I'm not sure about my acting, but I'll try hard if I have a chance next time. So congratulations to Stats, who will advance out of this group along with Classic.
The
next round,
A couple of fantastic Protosses moving forward. It was a very good night of games. It's sad to see Scarlet go down in last place here, but she played pretty well, I'd say, overall. Gave us some really fun games as well. Especially those macro games that she got into.
Yeah, very, very strong.
But also you gotta take into consideration the racial balance for the next round.
Yeah.
And right now it's 5-5-4. With Protoss
Very,
at
very
4.
even. It was looking a little bit scary for Protoss coming into tonight's games, but with both Protoss advancing, it does even up the racial distribution quite a bit. And there's still very many strong Protosses to play. Hero plays tomorrow.
Plays, on Saturday.
On Saturday. I just think that there's no stop to StarCraft. It's just on every day.
I'm sure SSL must be on tomorrow.
Yeah, Classic's on tomorrow. So either way, this is a look at our next group, which will feature our second foreigner special, also known as Major, Cute Angel.
Or Gosi Terran. I mean, he has unlimited IDs.
But also
this guy, since
Hero.
he's a little kid, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing his matchup versus Hero and just seeing if he can get out of the group. Also, Armani and Beyond playing. Armani a little bit of an underdog.
This is a fearsome group, man. Armani is a very smart Zerg, but definitely a huge underdog in this group. Hero is probably the biggest monster of a Protoss right now.
Definitely.
Winning Super Tournament, and just he's looked actually overall better than Stats recently.
Made it out of his SSL group in first place, was the first player to qualify for the second round of that tournament, and is incredibly strong player for the time being. So definitely a possibility for Major or Special to make it out of this group. Beyond's looked a little bit shaky lately.
He has, but I mean, he's a GSL champion and the defending world champion, so it's like, I mean, Beyond at any time can win the tournament. So, yeah, this is a sick group, guys. Make sure you tune in on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun to see if Major can make it out of that group.
Make sure to send lots of loving tweets to Tasteless, welcoming him back. Hopefully he'll be good to go for the next GSL broadcast. It was really fun to get a chance to cast here with you guys. Thanks for having me, making me look good, Artosis.
It's been very fun, Rapid. It was our most incrediblest cast yet.
Incredibliest, indeed it was.
Incredibliest, there you go. I can't even remember this word. It's so bad.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.